Hello, hello, hello. Everybody knows the big head midget. Uh-oh, there's Nana. What are you doing? What you doing over there, man? Getting coffee. What's going on, y'all? Let everybody jump on here with us. Uh-oh. I hear them four-wheelers out there and them kids riding. Best $900 I ever spent on that little Arctic Cat 90, wasn't it? Bubba loves that thing, though. He loves that thing. Let everybody jump on here. Hey, it's been, I don't know what you say. I hate to even entertain silliness and foolishness, but everybody knows that, yes, Anthony Smith, Hercules, is no longer part of the Memphis Street Outlaws. Hey, I've known Anthony my whole life. He was a down-to-earth country guy, great mechanic. Can't say nothing bad about him. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, money and fame changes people. And I apologize, and I got the tax forms to pay for this. To show this. I paid Anthony $65 an hour. Anthony never worked on nothing of mine. Not to mention, I roughly paid him $75,000 myself that I got the IRS tax forms to show. And then Anthony made another $75,000 or $100,000 with Discovery. Hercules probably made $150,000, $200,000 last year. That was not enough for Booby. Booby, she would have to marry probably Donald Trump in order to keep her up, and that would only last probably a year or two. She would hold him for ransom, or she would blackmail him, or she would try to slander or something to get some more. It's not enough. I'm sorry. I apologize. With that being said, misery comforts misery. Everybody can see, look, money and fame will change people. I can't afford Booby. Discovery can't afford Booby. Booby, she gets 2 or 3 different vehicles every year. Booby, as you can see on the internet, look at a picture of her from 3 years ago. She was a little rich, country, chunky girl that was happy. Now she's Marilyn Monroe and she's going on a vacation in Panama in 3 weeks. Look at everything that I say, you can see for yourself. Now, as far as the scam and all the stuff, hey, look here. I'm never going to allow anyone to blackmail me or hold me for ransom or something to say, hey, I'm paparazzi. I'm going to tell this. I'm going to show this. But if you're going to tell it or show it, at least do it out of the goodness of your heart. They trying to pull a scam. It's a money scam to try to keep up with Booby. And I don't think there's enough money in the world to keep up with Booby. Booby is the rich and the famous, miserable. She's never going to be happy. She's going to drive her poor little mechanic in the ground trying to be happy. And with that being said, hey, look here, I don't got to say enough for the 2 sons. I'm not going to badmouth no one. Go have some dealings with them and you'll know yourself. That's all I got to say. I've been to the racetrack a few times with him and his son, and every time it's been a bad deal. They threw a rock through a man's window one time in Paragould. You name it, he's got a little high-tempered, supposed to be tough guy son, weighs about 90 pounds, the little skinny Banny Rooster one. And then he's got another one that looks like him, and he's a great youngster, but he's a scam artist too, like Booby. And with that being said, hey, okay, they're getting on YouTube and they're acting like they're going to tell you something really, really, really important. And guess what? It's a bunch of commercials. You don't see no commercial here. You look here, you don't see no commercial. You ain't going to see no commercial here. Hey, look here, this is me talking. If I got something to say, I'm going to say it. But instead, they trying to run a scam and a racket. They going to put it on YouTube. Then you're going to see a bunch of commercials and they going to get paid for all that stuff. And all they doing is trying to run a racket. It's a scam racket that Anthony and Booby M's trying to run, and his 2 sons. I don't got no problem with them. Hey, man, be you. Look here. There's a bar uptown that's got a lot of problems and a lot of troubles. Guess what? I don't got to make a YouTube video about it and try to run money and scam and blackmail that bar. I just stay away from it. I don't entertain it. I don't have anything to do with it. And with that being said, that's what, that's where this has all come from. Anthony, I feel like he's a great person, you know what I'm saying, inside, but he lets Booby control him, and he don't got a grip on his kids. He allows them they don't respect no one or nothing. His son, here's a prime example of his son. Here's what his son did. Anything I'm telling you, I ain't getting paid 1/4 to say this. I could put this on YouTube, and I could say, go subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'm going to tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? And then the YouTube commercials, everybody knows look here, everybody knows behind all of that, guess what? They getting paid. And with that being said, I ain't trying to run no racket on you. What I'm showing you here. And with that being said, guess what? His son, I paid Anthony to work on my truck. $65 an hour. I built me a new old heavy. I was happy. I was proud of it. I was going to make it part of the Memphis Street Outlaws show. It meant something to me. Hey, I got a few extra dollars. I live within my means. I don't live way out of my means. My wife drove her Tahoe for how many years?
10, if not more.
10 years, the same vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Hey, my mama, how much did we pay for your vehicle? That Ford? $7,500 or something? How long did you drive it?
The wheels fell off.
And then when I did get your new vehicle, what was your mama had a scam. She guilty. Mama guilty of a scam. What was your scam? You remember what you always do? When I didn't have no money or I got broke, what'd you say? Huh?
Yeah.
Mama would act like something was wrong with the vehicle and say, sell that old vehicle, son.
Sell that old vehicle. Sell that old vehicle. I don't like it.
And the whole time, because my money got funny, hey, I live within my means. Hey, you know what? If Hercules can't live off of $150,000, not to mention all of the scam that his son is running, his son is not even part of the Memphis Street Outlaws. Never been a part of it. He called every parts person in the world and asked him, can you give me this? Can you give me that? He don't say, can you give me? He says, Memphis Street Outlaws, Memphis Street Outlaws, jjdaboss, Memphis Street Outlaws. And with that being said, the man probably got $1 million worth of parts and $150,000, $200,000, and it ain't enough for poor Booby. Then getting back to my truck, I got my truck. I'm really proud of it. Oh, the new old heavy. I'm going to let the world see it and make a show out of it. Hey, it means something to me. I'm proud of it. I've saved my money. I worked hard. And his son makes a video on YouTube, gets back to his YouTube scam hustle, and goes through his whole thing of YouTube on my truck. Use my truck. If you're going to do a YouTube video, do it on your own stuff. Hey, my son loves YouTube. I love YouTube. I don't got nothing bad to say about it. I love it. It's great. But I'm not going to use everybody else and everything as a stepping block, for myself. He took my truck that the world didn't know about that I was wanting to show.
You wanted to reveal it to your fans.
I wanted to reveal it, like you said, to my fans.
You were excited to reveal it to your fans, and then you got that snatched from you. You couldn't even do it.
He strips me from it, goes behind my back while I'm paying his daddy to work on it, and shows my truck does a YouTube without my permission. But guess what? My son didn't do anything wrong. jjdaboss was mean to my son. You're setting your son up for failure. That's what you're doing. You know what my mama would do to me if I disrespected someone like that? What she'd do?
She'd teach you a lesson, bring blood. You ain't going to do nobody else.
I bet you wouldn't worry about going sneaking in there and showing somebody's truck. It'd be like, say, Ryan Martin gets a new vehicle, and me sneak up to his house and video it and show it before the whole world does it. Man, no amount of money can get me to do that. I'm not going to do that. And with that being said, you know what I'm saying? Mama take a stench cord of me if I'd done something like that. You know what I'm saying? Beat the bark off of me.
She could have have made you selfish and all that, and not taught you a lesson, said, you know, you wasn't wrong, but she taught you a lesson. And in your heart, you know that stuff ain't right.
That ain't right. For no amount of money is that right. But yet has Anthony said one time, guess what? You was wrong, son. You should not have done JJ like that. I apologize, JJ. No, it's what you did to my son. You setting that boy up for failure. And then you got the one that's, you know, the one that's Almighty Joe Young. You know what I'm saying? I think he's 87 pounds. And, you know, he's King Kong. You know, he's the killer. You know what I'm saying? He's, and with that being said, every time we go somewhere, he gets into it with somebody. Last time we was at the racetrack, what'd he do?
He got into it, threw a rock in the back. A man took off trying to leave, no problems, and he threw a rock through the back windshield, shattered his glass. You
know, hey man, you got to teach these kids some sense. If you don't, they're gonna set themselves up for failure. If you don't teach your kids sense, it's a one-way road. You either got to kill or be killed. That's what happens. Hey, my son's my son, but if my son is wrong, I'm going to tell him he's wrong. And guess what? If my wife is wrong, I'm going to tell her she's wrong. If my mother's wrong, I'm going to tell her that she's wrong. Right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm going to support her.
True.
Going to stand when the world comes to an end. And Anthony, he hasn't changed, but he's let the money and the fame get in his life through Booby. You know, look at Booby 3 years ago. Look at her now. You know, and with that being said, we go to Vegas, and Anthony, you know, everybody knows Anthony's the best mechanic in the world, and Memphis couldn't be nothing, and we couldn't win a race if it wasn't from Anthony. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows that. You know what I'm saying? Anthony and his two sons and Bobby, you know, they're the reason that
they're the heart of all this.
They're the heart of the world. You know, you know, Street Outlaws couldn't even be nothing without them. You know, not to mention Anthony's got, you know, Anthony never was a street racer. Never street raced in his life.
Every time a cop show up, even if he did, we had to make him go out there. He'd run, dive in the truck.
You know, he never was a street racer.
He wouldn't bring his car.
You know, and the minute he finds out the cameras are out, you know, Booby just insists on him. You know, Anthony first was not just dying for it, but Booby made Anthony go do this. You know, she was seeking that something missing in her life. You know, anytime that you see someone telling their whole life on Facebook, every move they make, they ain't got nothing going on. You know, hey, you know, I feel wonderful to show my certain things of my life or that I got going on with my people that love me and my people that support me. But if I'm going to eat a steak dinner, I'm not going to put on Facebook, hey, I'm going to eat steak dinner. Or if I'm going on vacation, I'm not going to this. Man, what are you doing? You know, it tells itself. And, you know, with that being said, we out there in Vegas, he goes out there. We're not supposed to be out there testing. Hey, if you're going to test, sneak and test. Anybody knows as a street racer, sneak and do it. He goes out there with his little troublemaking son and, you know, will not listen. And he thinks, okay, he's holding me hostage. He's my mechanic. He can do whatever he wants. That's what he thinks. You know, I can do whatever I want because I'm JJ's mechanic. That's what he thinks. Hey, Anthony's a great mechanic, but there's also other great mechanics in the world. You know what I'm saying? That don't have near the baggage. Man, I don't care what nobody makes. Hey, make all you want to make, but don't try to blackmail me or hold me hostage and try to support Booby. You know, do it on your own time. And Larry Larson can't get a more down-to-earth, I always call him, Big Bird, Sesame Street.
Big Bird.
You know, I give him a hard time, call him Big Bird, Sesame Street. You know, but you know what? He's a racer, and Larry Larson is a respected no-prep king racer, and he's a great racer at anything he does. You know what I'm saying? That man, he shows up out there. We're not even supposed to be out there. So I'm not out there. You know, hey, and if I'm going to go out there, I ain't going to say I didn't go out there because I got a chance. I'll sneak out there. But I'm not going out there and turn the lights on and say, I'm out here, you know, like they're God. You know, he thinks because he's my mechanic, he's God. Nothing's better than him. And Larry Larson comes out there and he tries to whoop Larry Larson, just cause a lot of trouble with him and the little troublemaking son. Then from there, him and his son goes out there and he goes up to Larry Larson and Varney and got a gun out there on them people shooting up in the air. The prime example, look at their video themselves. I looked at that video myself and I said I was interested just to see what kind of lies and stuff they had. And it was so funny. Bobby Booby said her son didn't have a gun. And then 5 minutes in the video, poor little innocent Hercules, Anthony Smith, says, my son had a gun and he shot up in the air to keep from causing problems. Come on. You know, which one are you doing? You know, does your son got a gun or does your son not got a gun?
Anthony was saying, you know, the truth is coming out because his heart he has a good heart.
Yep.
But on the other hand, when you have all of that bad stuff in you and you can't keep your life straight.
Right.
And Anthony did it out of innocence, just telling the good, you know, being truthful.
Right. And we're talking about on a YouTube video that they got a chance to edit. We ain't talking about on lies, with the live feed. They took and edited it and done all that old stuff so they could get them, you know, the one little guy, the older son, the scam artist, he's the one that calls around scamming everybody. And they don't want nothing to do with Memphis Street Outlaws, nothing to do with jjdaboss or Discovery. But then the first time they call on the phone, guess what they say? Guess what they say? Here's what they say. Here's what they say. They say, guess what? We with Memphis Street Outlaws. We with this. We with that. Don't use our name and be a part of it if you're not, you know what I'm saying, if you're not claiming it. Call them and tell them you're yourself. You know, hey, I got something going on. I'm gonna entertain this today, and then you'll never hear me say nothing else about this again.
Well, I mean, you ain't said nothing
the whole time.
The whole time. But they're steady trying to badmouth you, and you've got to stand up.
Well, you know, here's what I hate more than anything is you're running a scam and a racket on the fans.
You're not even trying to tell it just to be telling it. You're trying to
go subscribe and get some commercials and get a scam on a YouTube.
To just tell the fans, hey, this is what's going on.
Yeah,
you ain't even did that.
No, I'm telling you, and I ain't making a quarter off of it. Guess what? I ain't telling you go subscribe. jjdaboss gonna tell you the inside and run a bunch of scams racket and get some money and buy Booby some new fingers because her fingers ain't good. I ain't doing that. Man, I wish Booby and his two sons the best in the world. You know what? I loaned Anthony the money that I had to go borrow, half of it from my mother, $17,000 to buy the motor for his car. You remember when this happened?
I do.
He wanted to borrow the money. I didn't have all the money. I went to my mother and said, Mom, let me get $7,000. You remember that?
I remember. And she didn't ask any questions. She said, here you go.
I never told Mama that it was for Anthony.
Nope.
I didn't tell it, and I ain't told nobody. The reward for me doing that was I didn't tell nobody out of the goodness of my heart. Okay? The rear end Anthony's got in his car. Guess who? I guess he thinks I'm a dummy and I don't remember. That's my rear end. That's my chunk. I paid $1,100 for
We
it.
could go on and on about what was actually ours that we.
I could, like you said, I could go for days and days. Everything that his son got, guess what? He called and used my name, then he's selling it.
Outlaws brand too.
Street Outlaws.
Yeah.
You know, hey man, it goes on and on. But I'm gonna call Larry Larson and ask him, y'all, what happened that night. Y'all gonna hear it firsthand. That way, you know, hey, we ain't gonna edit it.
He didn't say who he got into it.
No, he didn't say.
He wouldn't even say who he got into it with.
Because he didn't want to. Anthony didn't even say on the YouTube video who he got into it with. He got into it with Larry Larson. He threatened to whoop him. He threatened to do everything he could to the man. That's what he did. Let's see what Larry Larson said. And everybody knows Larry Larson is a great racer, and he ain't no fighter. He ain't looking.
He ain't no troublemaker. He ain't looking for no.
He's hard to outrun. And guess what? I'll jug and argue and try to get under their skin to play part of the game, so I'll have a chance to outrun them. You know what? I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to meet everyone and do this. And I never dreamed that Discovery would pay me to do what I love.
Right.
Discovery.
We're doing what we love.
Plus we're getting paid.
And we're getting paid.
But it ain't enough. It ain't enough for some people. Let's see what Larry Larson.
When it ain't what you love.
Right. I might be out of minutes.
Uh-oh.
I put it on speakerphone. And I ain't gonna entertain this no more, y'all. We're going to see what's going on.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Mr. Larry Larson. How you doing? I got you on live feed, sir, so the whole world's listening to you. I don't want to do anything without you knowing it.
Not a problem.
How you doing, sir?
Good, good.
Have you ever been out running that S10? I just want to know the truth, and I don't want you to... You know that S10, the weird-looking one that you got. Have you ever been out run on it with it?
Oh, have I been? Oh, absolutely. Anybody that races has been outrun.
I like that. That man knows the truth. I always say, if you don't get outrun, you ain't racing.
And you ain't running anybody fast either.
Hey, Mr. Larry. I got it on live feed here, and I ain't putting this on a YouTube video and trying to get 1 million subscribers and 1 million likes and make no money off of it like everybody else. Tell me your side of what happened that night when on the road with Anthony Smith and his son.
It's a little bit of a long-winded story, but lost a lot of respect for him. We were out testing. About everybody there was out testing that night. We were testing a couple of miles away from the road where we were racing on, and I wanted to go down and take my track meter and go down and pull the road just to see what it pulled like at 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning, because I knew that's when we'd be running. So rolled down the road and pulled up, and Anthony was there, his son was there, one of the other MSO guys, and no big deal. Didn't think anything about it other than the fact that hell, they had the lights turned on like they owned the place, and
Was I there?
What's that?
Was JJdaboss there or Precious or Trish?
JJ, the boss, was not there this time.
Okay. If I go, I'm going to sneak there.
And I'd never talked to Anthony at all. I mean, I'd just seen him once again on TV, and I'd run into him at a couple of races we've been to, but never really spoke to the guy. But felt like he was, pretty quiet and seemed like a decent guy. But so walking up there, and we exchanged pleasantries and, hey, how you doing? Oh, everything's fine. And walked on up there and went to check the road and did that and turned around to come back. And I'll be damned if he didn't get in my shit and start telling me how greatly appreciated me. And what are you talking about? And he proceeded to tell me that I'd screwed it up where nobody could race out there, that they couldn't test out there anymore. I said, well, you're not supposed to be out here testing anyway. All the rest of us got a text saying we couldn't be out there testing, so, I don't know why you are, but whatever. I didn't care. It's not my deal. I'm not sticking my nose in it. Well, he just kept on me and on me and on me and telling me to get my ass out of there and not so...
Real nice and friendly?
And...
Was he real nice and friendly?
No. And finally, after once again exchanging a few heated words, I walked over to the car and I said, Anthony, I said, I don't know you, but I said I used to have some respect for you, but I said I don't have any respect for you right now. I said you have been rude and crappy over nothing, and I said you can go pound sand, to put it nicely. I said, you can eat shit, and I said, I'm out of here. So turned around and got in the car. Me and the guy that Chris Varney's helper was with me, and we drove back up to where we were testing at, a couple miles away. Sit up there and told the rest of the guys what had happened, because I was racing with Team Texas that weekend. And I said, I'm going to go back down there and see if the guys are still down there. And I said, if they got, and I'm just going to pull up 100 yards behind them, whatever, the road real wide, and park on the side. And I said, I want to see if them guys got balls enough to make a hit out on that road when they're not supposed to be there anyway. And with me sitting there. And so Varney said, I said, anybody else want to go? And Chris Varney said, yeah. He said, let me know when you get down there. So I rolled down the road. Sure enough, they were still there, had the lights shut out. Pulled up, shut my lights off, never got out. Sit there. Chris pulled up about 5 minutes later. We're sitting in his motorhome laughing, and some guys keep looking out. Finally, they leave, and they load their stuff up, and they leave. And we're joking. We're like, well, they're coming back just as soon as we leave. And so they had some other, I don't even know what that guy was, if there was a local security guy or what. And we were kind of giving him the run around, just verbally abusing him for fun. And so finally we decided we'd had enough fun. It's probably 3 o'clock in the morning, and so we spin around and head back. Well, Barney's got his motor home and 2 or 3 people in it. I'm by myself, and he heads out in front of me, and I'm following him, and I'm probably about, I don't know, half mile behind him a little bit. And I see headlights coming over the hill, and I'm thinking, well, I bet that's some guys coming back to start testing again. Well, he drives by, and I see him kind of swerve. Next thing I know, there's 2 sets of headlights, and they're blocking the road. And I slow down. I'm thinking, well, this can't be good. Well, when I get up close, it's Anthony again.
By himself or what?
You know, I didn't know at the time, but his son was with him.
With
And
which one? The killer or the scam artist?
You know, once again, I've only met Anthony a couple of times, and I never knew his kid. I'd heard some stories, but you know how it is. Until I know somebody's a good person or a bad person, they're a good person.
Right, absolutely.
And so I rolled up, and they once again basically had the road blocked. Well, it's got big wide shoulders, so I started on around. I just eased over to the side, and I thought, well, I'll just kind of idle on down. You know, I got my trailer behind me, and Barney's up in front about 100 yards. Well, he knew I was by myself. Well, they swerved at him, supposedly, and he got around them because they were both going too fast. Well, by the time I got there, they were stopped in the road. I tried to go around. Anthony jumps out in front of my truck, starts screaming, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't run over me. I'm like, all right, great. So I roll the window down. He starts giving me the business. Who's in that motorhome? I said, I don't know, because he was just furious. And I thought anybody that's going to pull over in the middle of the road at 3 o'clock in the morning and block somebody off is up to no good. We're already got a problem because he's here to start shit.
So you told me this is Anthony Smith, right?
And he's going back.
Anthony, right?
Yes, Anthony. So I'm sitting there arguing with him, and he's threatening to whip my ass if I don't tell him who's up there. And I keep telling him I don't know, and you better not be lying to me. I'm going to whip your ass. I'm like, Anthony, just get out of my road. I drop it in gear, go to take off again. He literally jumps in front of my truck again. Don't hit me, don't hit me. I'm like, we're going nowhere here. What the hell's going on? Well, in the meantime, like I said, Varney's about 100 yards up the road. I see somebody take off up the road running towards Varney's truck and trailer.
Right.
Not a clue who it was at that point in time. And it was, all I knew is that, you know, it was one of the guys that were there.
Right.
And,
but
anyway,
come to find out, who was it?
All of a sudden I hear gunshots. And then I hear 3 more gunshots. And I see the muzzle flash on the last 3. Right. And I'm like, this ain't good. If there's lead flying, there's nothing good coming to this.
Absolutely.
So I'm not sure what's going on, but I know the last 3 came from behind the trailer. So I knew that whoever ran up there had a gun.
Who was that run up there?
They're already shooting a gun. So Anthony starts screaming at me again. Look what you started. I'm like, I didn't start anything. I said, I'm sitting here talking to you, you know. And so they came running back. Well, that was his kid. And he's screaming and hollering, it's Barney, it's effing Barney. And so about that time, Anthony reaches in the window, tries to smack me upside the mouth. And I'd had enough by then because I thought, man, if the kid's coming back there and he's got a gun,
so
and
Anthony's son had a gun.
He's probably got a gun. I had no idea. He hadn't expressed that he did or didn't. But so I dropped it in gear and put it on the floorboard, and I didn't give a shit who I ran over, whose arm I tore off, or nothing, because nothing good was going to happen from then on.
Absolutely.
And I got the hell out of there. And
bullets ain't got no eyes.
Go ahead.
Bullets don't got no eyes.
No, not especially at night when somebody's just popping stuff off. Yeah, no. I went out there to race, and I went out there to race fair and square on the same road as everybody else. And that's I'm a racer. I'm not a TV star. I'm not a TV actor or whatever else. I go out there to race. It's serious business for me, and that's why I went over there to check the road. And you know, it's serious business for them too. They're out there testing, which whatever. That's up to them. But just because somebody comes over there to check the road, then it escalates into this. Yeah, that was just a bad deal for them to try and run us off the road and then to pull a gun on Chris. I mean, that's just wrong.
So his son pulled a gun. Anthony tried to drag you out of the vehicle and whoop you. Did Anthony Smith treat you fairly and respectfully, like you'd want your people to treat someone?
He did when I first walked by the trailer when I first got there, but that was short-lived because everything after that was not good. Like I said, I lost so much respect for him. I didn't think that's who he was, but he made it clear in no uncertain terms what he's capable of and what he's about. So
right.
Yeah.
here's where I'm at. I'm for right. And if somebody jumps on Anthony and tries to whoop him, hey, I'm going to help him. I'm going to at least stop him and try to figure out what's going on and what's up here. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But now, I'm for right. Right's right and wrong is wrong, and no matter who it is. And guess what? I've been wrong 1,000 times, and I'm probably going to be wrong 10,000 more times. But I'm man enough to accept when I'm wrong.
Well, we've all done stuff and said stuff that we wish we could take back, without a doubt. But to just keep escalating and to keep, pushing the matter, I mean, and you don't try and run somebody off the road or stop them with it.
No.
That's just, you're just asking for problems or trying to create problems. I'm not sure which, by doing some shit like that. So I don't know what they thought they were going to do by stopping me. I don't know where that was going. I don't even know what why in my wildest dreams he had in his mind.
Right. And I don't either. And I apologize 100% for it, that Anthony treated you like that. You know what I'm saying? But I can't.
You guys are good. I mean, he wasn't there the next night. Supposedly, I'd heard he got sent home, and I know that was partly due to you, and good for you, because it was handled, I think, like it should have been.
And that's what I want to do. I want to race and have a good time and have a great time. And if you mess with some of my people, I'm going to argue and we might roll around in the bushes for a little bit. But you're never going to see me hold a gun on someone. I'm not carrying no gun up there looking for that trouble. I ain't looking for all those problems. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want it. I'm not going to entertain it. And if I'm around them kind of people, I'm going to go race somewhere else.
Exactly.
But hey, on this, here's where I'm at. I apologize on the Memphis Street Outlaws, side. Hey, and I really don't think it's Anthony. I think it's more of his son and Booby. He don't got control as a man, and everybody knows which way that goes.
Yeah, once again, everybody from Memphis is, I raced with you guys at an arm drop or two, and been around you guys, and everybody's been good. I mean, everybody I've had contact, and I thought Anthony was the same way, but boy, like I said, definitely got proved different.
Right. I apologize for that, Larry. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said,
you had nothing to do with it. I mean, you, once again, stand up. I mean, you did what you should, or what I felt like should have happened, and he wasn't there racing the next night, and everybody there, I mean, everybody I talked to from Memphis that night, because I didn't know how that was going to go. I didn't know if everybody would have hard feelings towards me or Chris or anything, but everybody was nice, just as nice as could be, and like I said, it was all good. You did well. We ain't gonna sit and beat a dead horse. Hey, much respect to you guys, and you got some fast vehicles, and you're hard to beat. You know what I'm saying? And anytime we're racing, I'm going to try to sneak and get me a test hit so I can go faster. I'm going to do it every time. But I don't think I'm God, and I don't think I'm bigger than everybody. And I'm not going to be, out there turning lights on and acting like, hey, no rules stand for me. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to abuse my authority. Does that make any sense? No, absolutely. I mean, you figure out how the game's played sooner or later. I mean, everybody's trying to get an advantage, whether it's making a hit or not. And once again, I didn't care. I mean, that wasn't the thing. I wasn't screaming at him saying, you ain't supposed to be out here, until he started with a bunch of shit with me. And then it was like, I don't know why you're upset. I mean, you're not supposed to be here. But it escalated to screaming and hollering, and anyway, it just shouldn't have been.
Right. Once again, much respect. We're going to race you. And, anybody that's, with me, hey, we might get heated in our feelings, but if we're wrong, and we're going to call it wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that
Absolutely.
Be that.
It takes a bigger man to admit he was wrong than one to stand there and say he wasn't.
Absolutely. And much respect to you guys, man. Take care, Larry.
Absolutely. Hopefully we'll run into you.
All right.
Somewhere soon.
We'll do it, Larry. All right.
All right.
Vernon got on there and said, what about how you beat?
I'm not going to badmouth nobody, y'all, or say anything or do anything and paparazzi and YouTube it and all that. With that being said, hey, I love Anthony, I don't got no problems with Anthony. I'm not trying to bash him and beat him up or anything. I'm sorry, Anthony. You're the best mechanic in the world, and nobody will probably never win again because of you, of us losing you, because you're it. You know what I'm saying? In your eyes and Bobby's eyes and the Banny Roosters and the Scam Artist's eyes, you're it. But you're no longer part of Memphis Street Outlaws. And with that being said, don't use Memphis Street Outlaws' name to try to run a scam and a racket. We didn't pay you enough, is what you're saying. You made $150,000. The normal income is $30,000, $40,000 if you live within your means. School teachers probably are the greatest workers in the world, and they work their tails off, and they make $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year. But that's not enough. The school teachers, they don't have to try to keep up with Booby going to Panama and Booby going and get surgeries and Booby doing this and Booby doing that, Hey, I'm going to leave this alone. I'm going to live my life, and I'm going to race till I can afford it. When I get where I can't afford it, I'm going to find something else to do, Much love, you guys.